morning.
Good morning.
Happy birthday, Rashad.
Happy birthday. All right, so we are in week 3 packet. We are going through the rest of week 3 packet today. You'll need at least 1 to 2 sheets of paper. You can go ahead and number that 1 through 3 now. You also need something to write with. Good morning and good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Miss O, can you see the screen clearly?
Yes, it's perfect. Hello, good morning.
As your friends know, class has started.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Mia.
Everyone needs at least 2 sheets of paper. Please number it numbers 1 through 3.
I'm gonna get started in about 1 minute. Good morning.
Good morning. Everyone needs at least 2 sheets of paper. Please number your paper 1 through 3 so we can get ready to begin to do now. Good morning. Make sure you send a message to your friends to let them know the ELA is beginning.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So class this week, Tuesday's class session, we covered day 1 and 2 of packet 3. Today we're going to be covering days 3 and 4 of packet 3. Remember that term 3 ends tomorrow. Last time we told you all to have your work in by Saturday. We extended that day. So make sure you have all your work from packets 1 to 3 by Sunday, 5 p.m. And that can be DM to myself or Miss O. All right, so once again, term 3 ends tomorrow. We are looking for all of your work to be in by Sunday at 5 o'clock. Any questions on what we expect in regards to your work and Sunday? This also includes any Edulastic assignments that were given out. Okay. For today's objectives, we are going to break down a culminating prompt. We're also going to create and complete an evidence collection chart to help gather textual evidence for your culminating response. Okay. So today's class, the heavy part is about breaking up the prompt and gathering evidence. All right, let's get started. All right.
All right, here's our do now. So the do now for today, we would like for you to complete each sentence below based on your understanding of the information in chapter 5 of Hatchet. We are going to share one during class right after. All you have to do is complete each sentence, and you're only going to share out one. The first one, Brian's plane crashed because. Number 2, Brian's plane crashed, but. And number 3, Brian's plane crashed, so. We would like for you to complete each sentence, but we also will look for volunteers to share out afterwards for one sentence.
All right, so you all can also write your responses in the comments below as well. And if you would like to share a sentence or two, go ahead and give us a thumbs up or a high five.
If you share in the comments, please make sure you write in a complete sentence.
Oh, had a heart attack and pushed the pedal and they flew away. Good morning. Looking for a couple of more answers in the comment section, and I'm going to pull in one student. I saw you with your hand up.
Thank you for dropping your comments.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they're ready.
Okay, I'll pop you out.
Okay.
All right, remember, join the live, get you extra credit points. Okay. Let's see. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning. Good.
All right, you ready to share? You can share one or two if you want.
I want to share too.
Okay.
I do number one right now.
Mm-hmm.
Brian's plane crashed because the pilot had got a heart attack.
Okay.
Brian's plane crashed, but Brian was able to live, and he thinks that he will be saved by searchers.
Oh, I like that one. Nice and long. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I'm going to pop you out. Okay. I'm going to try to pull in another student. See if someone wants to attempt number 3. Brian's plane crashed. So. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
All right, you ready to share?
Yes.
Okay.
Brian's plane crashed because the pilot had a heart attack and pushed the pedal in a slewed way.
Okay. Thank you. Do you want to share another one?
Brian plane crashed so he's stuck in Northern Wood, Canada.
Oh, I like. Nice. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll pop you out. Great job, you all. We have time for one more student volunteer for our Do Now. One more student volunteer for our Do Now. Good morning to those of you who have just joined. I'm going to try to pull in one more student before we move on. Remember, student volunteers make the class. Looking for one more. If you would like to share, go ahead and put a thumbs up or a high five. I'm going to give it 30 more seconds to see if the student joins. Oh, awesome. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. You ready to share?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Brian plane crashed because the pilot had a heart attack.
Okay, thank you. Is there another one you want to share?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Brian plane crashed, but he survived the crash.
Did
but
you?
with some injury.
Okay. And did you attempt number 3?
Brian plane crashed, so he had to find a way to get out.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we appreciate you volunteering, okay? I'm going to pop you out now.
That's
Thank you, volunteers. Miss O, I'm popping you back in.
Okay, thank you to all the volunteers. You guys did a great job. Thank you for the students who also dropped their sentences in the comment section. Let's look at what it could have said. So number one, you could have written, Brian's plane crashed because the pilot had a heart attack and died while flying. Number two, Brian's plane crashed, but he survived. Number three, Brian's plane crashed, so he has to use his instincts to survive until he is found. Okay, let's move on.
All right, I'm gonna make this bigger really quickly.
Everyone can go ahead and turn to page 18 of your packet so that you're looking at the writing prompt. You're also going to need a separate sheet of paper so you can do your do now. You're going to make your do now like your do what chart. You're going to make it like you normally would, draw it out. On the do side, we have the action verbs and what is explaining what they want us to do with those verbs. And then you're going to write your summary sentence next. So go ahead and make sure you have out a sheet of paper. And then let's look at how we would break down the paragraphs.
Okay. So because we would break down the paragraphs this week, but they're asking for a journal entry. So I'm not going to have them break them down. Well, we're not going to have them break them down. So, all right. So we posted this prompt yesterday and we asked 2 questions: who wanted to break the prompt down and who wanted to clarify the vocabulary within the prompt. So first we're going to be looking for volunteers to share answers about the vocabulary in the prompt. All right. So I'm going to highlight all the vocabulary we need clarified before we go into actually breaking the prompt down with the do what chart. All right, Ms. O, you got it. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read the prompt and then we'll get volunteers to break down what these terms mean. You can also drop your comments in the comment section, but you have to put the highlighted word that you're explaining so that we know what it is you're saying. Okay, you have read Hatchet, chapter 5. Write a journal entry from Brian's perspective at the end of the passage. Use the sequence of events and details from the story to describe Brian's survival experiences. Be sure to capture specific examples of how he follows his instincts. So the words we want clarification on are journal entry. What is a journal entry? What do we mean by perspective? What do we mean by sequence of events? What do we mean by details? What does it mean to describe if you're asked to describe something? What does it mean by survival experiences? What does it mean to capture? What are we asking you to do? And what does it mean by instincts? So these are the words we would like for you to define. Again, if you are writing down what you think they mean, please drop it in the comment section with the highlighted word as well as your definition. We've asked for volunteers for this section. So if you were one of the volunteers, go ahead and put a thumbs up saying that you are ready to jump in to help us out. We need a thumbs up so that we can bring in some volunteers. Thank you for those of you commenting in the comment section. We appreciate it. So yes, pull whichever one you think you know the answer to and write it in the comment section. We love student participation.
So we know you all know a lot of these words. what he's going through, what his thoughts and ideas. Okay. The order of the events. Okay. So we have order of events. We have perspective as point of view. So again, we are looking for a student volunteer to go through the majority of the vocab in this prompt. If you would like to volunteer, go ahead and put a thumbs up or a high five. So journal entries, you can go ahead, Ms. O.
What's different about a journal entry versus an objective summary? It's not exactly an objective summary. So what makes it different between the journal entry versus the objective summary? There is a difference. What makes it different from an objective summary?
Yes, describes means to tell. Okay, perspective, point of view. And once again, like Ms. O said, what is the difference between a journal entry and an objective summary?
There's a key component that we want to be able to know the difference. If I'm writing a journal entry, how is that different from writing an objective summary?
Okay.
Let's see if we get a volunteer to jump on, Ms. Simmons.
Yes,
And
I
if
think
not,
I know who I want to pull in. I want to pull in the student that made the comment. So please join. You know who you are. I'm going to try to pull that student in.
okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, an intuitive way of thinking, a natural way of thinking. Yes, we are waiting on the student to join. If we understand the vocabulary in this prompt, we are more than likely going to understand how to write or respond to the prompt better. Again, waiting on a student volunteer to join. Okay. Your journal entry will be written in first person. So those of you sharing, make sure your text is normal so we can read it. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. King Ant. Okay, so that student was unable to join. I'm gonna try to pull someone else in. Please join the live. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Thank you for joining the live. Are you ready to share?
Share?
Share your responses to the vocab.
Oh, okay.
All right. So go ahead. Take us through what you know.
I know that journal entry is supposed to be in first person.
Mm-hmm.
I know describe is think to tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think survival experiences means to like what you like experience through like surviving, I guess. That's basically what it means.
So if you're going through a survival experience, what kind of situation might you have been in?
A hard situation.
A hard or a challenging one. So it's about pulling through challenging situations. Okay, you can keep going.
Instinct is what you like feel or think.
Okay, let's add the word naturally to that. So what you naturally do, what you naturally think when something happens or when you're in a certain situation. Going back to a student asked the question or made a statement in the comment section, and they said that a journal entry is the same thing as an objective summary. Do you know the difference between the two?
Yes.
What is the main difference?
That journal entry is in first person, objective summary is not, I think.
Okay, so we can talk about that. What about in regards to the fact versus opinion part?
In objective, you only can put your fact and only facts, and in journal entry you can put your opinion
Okay,
about
good.
it.
So there you go. So you put your opinion about the facts in a journal entry, and in an objective summary, you only state the facts. All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you. I'm going to pop you out, okay?
Okay.
All right, Ms. I'm popping you back in so we can move on. Thank you. Yes, this is for the do what chart, and we are about to move on right now. So, Ms. O, do you want to go over the vocabulary quickly?
Sure.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we doing this, the highlighted words?
Yeah, just going through the highlighted words.
Okay. Okay, so journal entry. In terms of a journal entry, yes, it is first person. It is the person basically saying what happened to them in first person. So you would use the word I. And then when you get to perspective, you're thinking from his point of view. So you are writing a journal entry from Brian's point of view at the end of the passage. So after everything has happened throughout that day, you're looking back to reflect as Brian and stating it as if you were Brian from his point of view in terms of what happened throughout your day. You're going to use the sequence of events, which basically means telling what happened in order, and including details, which means specific events that happened throughout the story. And then you're going to describe it, which means you're going to tell us what his survival experiences were. And his survival experiences were, how did he make it throughout that time? What did he go through to make it during that particular scenario? Be sure to capture, which basically means be sure to give us a picture of the specific examples using imagery, using details and information from the story. And how did he follow his instincts? How did he do what comes natural to us as individuals or us as human beings in order to survive? So that is how you would write your journal entry. And now let's continue.
Thank you so much, Ms. O. All right, let's go ahead and break it down, which you should have already been doing while we were going over the vocab. So if you would like to share what goes on the do side, what goes on the what side, and what is the summary sentence, what does that sound like? Go ahead and give us a thumbs up or a high five. Who wants to break down the actual prompt using the do what chart?
Give us a thumbs up if you would like to share out on live, or let us know if you need a little more time in the comments to finish the do what chart. Okay, I see people putting words. Does that mean one of you wants to come on live and volunteer? Am I getting a thumbs up from a new volunteer? I know some people are using computers and cannot, but we would like a volunteer to kind of tell us everything that should go on the do side.
Thumbs up,
if you want to
high
share.
five, right. Well, I'm going to pull somebody in, Ms. O.
Okay.
All right. Let's get this do what chart done. Hopefully we can pull in a new volunteer. Thank you for letting us know. You can drop your answers in the comment section. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, you ready to take us through it?
All
right, go ahead.
So you want me to just do do side?
You can do the entire chart.
Okay. For do, I got write, and for what I got a journal entry from Brian's perspective. For use, for the second word I got use, and I put the sequence of events and details. And for my last word, I put describe by Brian's survival experiences.
So what did you pull from the last sentence where it says, be sure to capture specific examples of how he follows his instincts? What did you pull from there?
I didn't do that. I didn't do that one yet. I just finished the scribe.
That's fine. So let's do it right now. What would you pull?
I will pull where hold on. The scribe. I mean, what?
The very last
It
sentence.
said.
If you look at the screen, I don't know if you see it in front of you, but if you look at the screen, be sure to
Hold on.
capture that sentence. What would
Hold
you
on.
pull for the do side?
Okay. Capture specific examples.
So,
Yeah, capture
okay.
specific.
All right, you got
Okay.
it. Yep, the word capture will go on the do side, and the remaining part of that sentence will go on the what side. Have you attempted your summary
Okay.
sentence yet?
No.
Okay. All right, thank you for sharing. We're
Okay.
going to pop you out. You can write your summary sentence in the comment section when you're done, though, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Uh huh.
All right. One more student, because I do want to hear someone's summary sentence. Hopefully we could get a new student. What do you all summary sentences sound like? Go ahead and start dropping them in the comment section. How do you summarize all of this into one sentence? How do you simplify the sentence or simplify the prompt? Okay, we're going to try one more student, then we're going to move on. How do you simplify this prompt in one sentence? Go ahead and drop your sentences below. We have already clarified the vocabulary. Okay, so is popping you back in? All right.
All right, thank you to everyone who's dropping comments in the comment section in terms of the do what. So let's just let's be mindful that on the do side, we have one verb. Okay, so our verbs on the do side are write, use, describe, and capture. What are they asking us to write? A journal entry from Brian's perspective at the end of the passage. What are we using? We're using the sequence of events and details from the story. What are we describing? We are describing Brian's survival experiences. What do they want us to capture? Specific examples of how he follows his instinct. So you guys would basically have this information listed. Now we want to summarize, what does that all mean in our own words? What are they asking us to do? They want us to write a journal entry as Brian. So you are Brian when you write this, detailing what has happened.
Sorry, I need to add something. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Okay. Detailing how he felt about what has happened, what he has experienced, and how he followed his instincts. So that's a summary of everything that they're asking us to do. This is a way you could put it in your own words so that you can kind of say, okay, did I cover this? Did I cover this? Did I cover this? Did I cover that?
Yep. All right, any questions? Can we get a thumbs up if you are still with us? Remember, this was done on a separate sheet of paper.
Give us
Thumbs
a
up.
thumbs up if you're good and you understand.
Thank you.
If there are any questions, drop them in the comment section. Any comments, you can drop it.
If not, continue to give us a thumbs up. Great, great. All right, let's go ahead and move on for the sake of time. Okay, if you have the packet, turn to page 18. If you do not have the packet, take out another sheet of paper or turn to the back side of the paper you were just using. Once again, if you have the packet, turn to page 18. It should be a blank space there. If you don't have the packet, take out another sheet of paper or turn to the back side of the paper you were just using for your do what chart. Okay. All right, so You're about to draw the evidence collection chart. This chart is going to help us gather evidence so that you can write your journal entry. All right, everybody should either be on page 18 or have a blank sheet of paper in front of them. Okay. I'm going to give you the skeleton of the chart first before I give you the words. Go ahead, draw this chart on page 18.
And make sure you make it big enough that you can write information in each box. So you're going to need space. So make it big enough so that you can write your details and information and all the evidence that you gather into the chart.
Remember, it should cover your entire page. Leaving this up for 30 seconds. We are on page 18 of the packet, week 3, or you are on a blank sheet of paper drawing this chart or graphic organizer. We're about to add the words to this chart. So you are about to put headings for each section of this chart. That's what you're about to see. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'm trying to make this bigger. Each section, we are going to put notes about what journal entries include and what they look like. We need to write down Brian's perspective at the end of the passage. We need to talk about the sequence of events. And for that, I want you all to reference your objective summaries. We have to talk about his survival experiences in that journal entry. And we have to talk about how he followed or wanted to follow certain instincts within this chapter. Yes, it should cover the entire page, page 18, or your entire page if it's blank. It should cover it.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, at the top, we have journal entry, notes. Right here, we have his perspective, the sequence of events, a section for his survival experiences, and a section for how he followed or wanted to follow his instincts. Leaving this up for 30 seconds. Remember, this is what you should be having in front of you on page 18 or on a blank sheet of paper. Let us know with a thumbs up or the word done when you are ready to move on. Once we move on, some of this stuff is pre-populated already. For the remaining time of class, this is what we will be doing. You will finish this on your own. You will also finish the journal entry on your own, the actual response.
Once you have copied down this information, please give us a thumbs up so that we know when the majority of students have completed it so we can move on. Once you have copied this down, give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to look for about 5 to 7 thumbs up before we move on. Remember page 18 of the packet, week 3, if you have it. This should be on a blank page if you don't. Yes, sir.
Yes. It will be posted after class as well. But please make sure you get this part down right now. Yes.
All right.
Okay, we're ready.
All right. Thank you.
Great job.
Okay, so this very first section we are going to cover because I do want you to write these things down right now. And Miss O, you can tell me if it's not big enough on your end because it's probably not on their end.
Okay. You just have to back up from the screen some.
Got it?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so we're going to cover this very first section. Remember, all of this will be posted after class, but let's get through this first section first. You can start writing some of this stuff down. I will ask you questions throughout this section, though, to finish it. So we know that a journal entry is a personal account of an event or a personal account towards a situation. Everyone already stated that it's written in first person. So whoever is telling the story, they're in a situation and they're telling that same situation. All right. My question to you, if it's first person, what pronouns should we see in your journal entry? Write them in the comment section. What pronouns should we see in a first person journal entry?
That's one. Okay. What else should we see? A few students said I. Okay. And what else should we see? If I am in the story, what type of other words might I use? Me. Okay, good. I, me. What else? My. Okay. Give me some more. We. Thank you. I, me, we. Okay.
Any more?
My.
You might say us.
Mm-hmm.
Might say our.
Great job.
Okay. Thank you. Myself. I like it. It's okay. Still see the whole screen?
No. Okay,
Now.
there you go. Uh-huh.
Okay. Length requirements. Length requirements. Does anybody know how long a journal entry has to be? Because we didn't tell you how many paragraphs to write. Think about journal entries in comparison to diary entries. How long should a journal entry be, or is there a length requirement at all? 3 what? 3 pages, 3 sentences, 6 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs.
What does 3 or 6 describe? Does that mean how many sentences we need, or how many paragraphs, how many pages? What are you guys telling us? How long should it be?
Someone said no. No what? Let's write a complete sentence in the comment section so we understand what you're talking about. No what?
How long should it be? 2
2
paragraphs?
paragraphs.
And what should be in those 2 paragraphs? If it's 2 paragraphs long, what should those 2 paragraphs include?
4 to 6 paragraphs, or it doesn't have a limit. Okay, I'm starting. You're in the ballpark. Okay, let's go ahead and write. It varies. There is no length requirement for a journal entry. You just need to make sure that in that journal entry you cover everything the prompt asks you to cover. So it could be 4. If it takes you 4, okay. If it takes you 3, okay. I don't think it should take anybody more than for this one 3 paragraphs, because the chapter wasn't that long. Right. Okay. Now, in a journal entry, people reveal their personal what on what has happened or what is happening around them. Their personal what. I'm looking for a couple of words. In a journal entry, people reveal their personal what on what has happened or what is happening around them.
Fill in the blank in the comment section. Drop your comments. What do you think goes there in the blank?
Thank you. You are correct. They have no limit. There is no length requirement. Now, what are we looking for in this last part for the journal entry section? Their personal view. Their person. Okay. Let's put. Kind of want to read. I'm going to put thoughts and feelings. I'm going to put personal thoughts and feelings on what has happened or is happening around them. Right. Thank you. All right. So your journal entry section should be done. Once again, this will be posted. Thank you for the comments in the comment section. Let's move on for the sake of time. Now, I'm going to go to this part real quick. Brian's perspective. You are thinking about how he views everything at the end of the chapter. I pre-filled one in for you. It says, Brian realizes it may be a while before he is found. right? So in this section, you can use any of these sentence stems. Fill them in with how Brian is thinking, how he is viewing the situation, how he's viewing himself at the end of the chapter. That's what will go here. Okay?
Thank you, timekeeper.
We got you. So once again, this will be posted. But this section, you're talking about how he's viewing the entire situation and himself at the end of the chapter. So you may use these sentence stems, and one is pre-filled for you. Can we get a thumbs up if you understand this section?
You're only pulling one of these if you use this sentence stems. You're pulling one.
Okay. Okay, I'm moving on for the sake of time. Our sequence of
Thank you.
events. Our sequence of events section. Go back to your objective summary, the one that we did in class. We know exactly what happened from beginning to end in this chapter. So for this section, bullet point those main events from when he first wakes up until the very end of the chapter, when he's talking to himself and he's reflecting. All right. Describe Brian's survival experiences. What was his survival experience so far that we know already? What did he already survive?
Drop it in the comment section. What has he survived already that we know of?
I'm over here, can't type.
What was
But
the
he already
first thing that
survived.
he survived? The crash.
Good. All right, he survived his hunger for that moment, yes. And that feeling of being hungry.
Dehydration. Love
Nice.
it.
All right, so all of that will go in this section. All right. And then lastly, for your graphic organizer, it says, put in here examples of how he followed his instincts. I said he wanted to follow his instinct when he was hungry by eating birds or a beaver, but he didn't have any matches to make a fire, right? So he didn't actually get to follow through on that instinct, but it was in his head. What we want you to do is write down the instincts he actually followed in this chapter. Okay? Thumbs up if you understand what you are writing in this section for the graphic organizer. Yep, his
That was one
instincts.
of his instincts.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
To drink the water because he was thirsty.
Mm-hmm. All right. So your exit slip is on page 20 of packet 3. Some of you have asked me questions about this before because we've never actually went over it in class, so I want to explain it now. On page 20 of
Back it
packet
up just
3.
a little bit, Miss Simmons.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
A
you.
little. Yeah. Okay.
That's better?
Yes.
So on page 20 of packet 3, you will see a chart like this. If you don't, you'll see it after class. If you don't have the packet, you'll see the chart after class. They have all the vocab words we learned on Tuesday on one side. And then at the top, they have subordinating conjunctions, right? They want you to start each sentence off with one subordinating conjunction. And then in that same sentence, use one of the vocab words. So once again, for this section, they want you to use a subordinated conjunction, start the sentence off with a subordinated conjunction, which is at the top. And then they also want you to put in or use a vocabulary word within that same sentence. So we gave you 2 examples. After Brian teetered past the muddy water, he discovered clear, more seemingly drinkable water. All right, your sentence does have to be related to the text. Last one. Before Brian teetered past the muddy water, he was really thirsty. All right, so you can make simple sentences, but just make sure you're starting with a subordinating conjunction and that you have a vocab word in that sentence as well. Do you understand your exit slip? Page 20, packet 3, 5 sentences. And back this up. Thumbs up if you understand.
And if you have any questions about anything we've gone over today, please drop it in the comment section now. As always, you can always DM us if you need a little more help or assistance with the activity. And make sure after class you are dropping your name in our DMs so that we can give you credit for being here today. You guys have been awesome. You have participated throughout the entire time. And for the majority of the time, you guys have been focused. And we do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Please let us know if you have any questions and drop them in the comment section so we can address them, because someone else might have that same question.
All right, so your exit slip is due by 3:15 today. Again, this is on page 20 of packet 3. If you don't have it, write the sentences out, send us a picture of it by 3:15 today. Okay?
And I want to add one other thing. You guys, don't forget we have a meeting today, an all school assembly at 3 o'clock today. The information for the Zoom meeting is on my page. So make sure that you look at the login information for Zoom. Make sure you have downloaded Zoom, because we will all be together as a school for an assembly today at 3 o'clock on Zoom. The information is on my page.
All right, so just to recap before we go, homework, you should be completing the evidence collection chart on page 18. You should be completing your journal entry on page 20. Wait, I messed up something because I said this was page 20. Give me one second, you all. I said page 20 the whole time. Page 20. Oh, okay. So complete your journal entry on page 21. Sorry, I just wanted to get y'all the right pages. Complete your journal entry on page 21. And then you have a Edulastic assignment number 5. All right. Remember, tomorrow ends the quarter or the term. All your work is due Sunday by 5 p.m. Drop your names in our DMs as soon as we end this live. Can you drop the packets off tomorrow? Can you bring that question to?
Oh, no, I have an answer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so in terms of dropping the packet off tomorrow, any day of the week, you can drop packets off at Ballou High School between 10 and 2. There's a basket there for Hart, so we will get the work, but you drop it off at Ballou, not at Hart, between 10 and 2.
Thanks, Ms. O. All right, so we're going to get out of here. You all stay safe, stay well. Let us know if you need help with anything, and we will see you later today during the assembly at 3 o'clock. All right?
We love you.
Love you very much. Have a good one.
Thank you.